There's well over a century of history in this old house, the main house here at Sahuaro Ranch Park. And in order to brief you on it, I've invited Joanna Brace, who's a recreation specialist with the City of Glendale. Hi, Joanna. How are you today?
How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us in our program. So we're standing right now in the main entry, the foyer you would call it, is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And the house was built when?
The oldest part of the house was built in 1891, and then later on in the 1895, 1898, different parts of the house were added on.
Okay. This staircase behind us, Joanne, it would be part of the addition to the house. It's very dramatic.
It was added in 1927 when the Smith family moved in.
Okay, great. And as I mentioned earlier, it's an evolution of agriculture and home building and everything out here on this ranch, and that's part of the great thing that it demonstrates.
Absolutely.
Behind you is what was the original part of the
Yeah,
house?
we're walking to the office this way, and it
Okay.
was the original part of the house built in 1891. This space was used by Harry Adams. Mr. Bartlett didn't live here, so he used a superintendent to run the ranch for him.
Right, and you've got it decorated in somewhat of a fashion that it might have been with the roll-top desk and the bookcase and also a map, interestingly enough, of the Arizona Canal. Because again, the history of this ranch and all of the ranches here in the valley are tied to the completion of the Arizona Canal in 1885.
Yes.
Now, Joanna, obviously this is currently a large living room. It's a big space. Has it always been this way?
Originally, it was 3 bedrooms and a hallway, and we'd be walking in what was the hallway.
In the hallway, I see. A very impressive fireplace here. My understanding is that is also a renovation, that the fireplace used to be off the dining room, and now it's here in the big family room, and I can just imagine the family sitting here and enjoying music on the piano or reading and playing cards and that sort of thing. But I'm curious, it's all decorated for Halloween.
Well, when the Smiths lived here in the 1930s, the 1930s was the golden age of Halloween, and parties were all the rage, masquerade parties and lots of games like bobbing for apples and fortune telling and dancing.
Great. So it's this way for Halloween. It's not like they live this way year round.
No,
Okay,
just for
great.
tonight's party.
Any original furniture or features of the house?
The bookcase original. We have some original bedroom furniture upstairs. The fireplace equipment is original to the Smith family.
Wow.
Radio, so things here and there.
The screen and the andirons have been here all along since the 20s when the Smiths bought the place.
Yes.
Terrific. So Joanna, now clearly we're entering into the dining room. I noticed that there's pocket doors that are there, and that would be to separate the entry area from the more private or formal areas of the house.
Exactly. And they're original to the house, and if you'll notice, we have the copper escutcheon plates. The copper is such an important element in this state.
In this state, it sure is. Now, in today's architecture, everybody wants the great room concept, everybody in one space. But in this period of time, it was much more compartmentalized.
Well, actually, with here, you could go both ways. You could have it open and into both spaces and have a larger gathering, or you could close it off and have a more intimate gathering, and you could keep it warmer in here or get that nice breeze through from the front door.
Right. Now, there was a celebrity wedding of the day held here at the ranch, as I understand. Tell me some about that.
Well, William Bartlett's daughter, Mary, got married here in April of 1899 to Charles Deering. Quite wealthy family, and Todd Lincoln was one of the guests at that wedding.
Right, very cool. And Deering was of the Case Deering tractor and farm implement enterprise,
absolutely.
right? Yeah, some very well-known names in America at the time, that's for sure. So now here in the Butlers Pantry is, well, for one, a Butlers Pantry is something nobody has anymore because we don't seem to have butlers.
Well, this family was wealthy enough to have a cook, and they had maids who put together wonderful meals, and then they served and cleared, and this is part of the area where they prepped for those meals.
Right, and it's just off of the dining room, so it was very convenient, and they were just a cough away from the madam of the house if anybody needed service.
Right.
The built-ins in this room are terrific. You don't find those so much in homes anymore, but they were very common in homes of this era. And of course, that For younger viewers, that's actually an old-style telephone.
Yes.
It's not that smart and it won't fit in your pocket, but that is how we were able to communicate with other families in the area at the time. The sink is interesting. I don't have an explanation for its design, do you?
Well, I do know that one of the ways they keep water from overflowing was to put a pipe stand into the drain. And when the water got up too high, it would flow back over into the pipe and not overflow.
I've just never seen one with that S-shaped divider down the middle.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. So Joanna, as we move out of the Butlers Pantry and into the kitchen, we notice some changes. This is actually frame construction and not brick. This was part of an add-on that was done when?
1898, that winter when the Bartlett family spent here.
Oh, very good. It's odd we have two stove oven combinations. Why such concentration?
Well, the house next door, the guest house, doesn't have a kitchen. It just has bedrooms and bathrooms. So everybody staying over there had to come over here to eat. And we needed two ovens here to feed everybody.
To feed everybody. That's very interesting. Now I know from earlier studies that there's actually a well underneath the floor here.
Yes.
And there used to be a water tank and a windmill above. And the windmill would turn and pump water from the well into the water tank, and then they could have running water inside the house. And that was very unique, very progressive for the era.
It's very progressive. It was very interesting and resourceful. We had 4 bathrooms and these 2 different kitchen spaces, and we had running water to all of those.
Running water, all of them. Very modern in this, for its times, that's for sure. So Joanna, I just heard air conditioning kick on. That doesn't seem like it was original to the house. When was air conditioning added?
Actually, that's a very modern, once the city of Glendale took over this site during the renovation, we installed air conditioning in about the 1990s or so.
About the 1990s.
Yes.
Well, that certainly makes it more comfortable for the volunteers and the visitors. Now, one of the modern aspects of it too was refrigeration for the food, the dairy products, fruits, vegetables, and all of that. Tell me some
We
about
actually
that.
had a really large ice box in the pantry, and Bartlett bragged you could get 350 pounds of ice in there to keep all the food cool.
Right, because ice was how they refrigerated it. They didn't have a modern refrigeration system, and actually electricity didn't even come out to the ranch until I think 1920s or somewhere in that period.
From the city grid, yes. We actually had a diesel generator at about the turn of the century that brought some electricity to the ranch.
So yes, they generated electricity on site, but
On-site.
they didn't hook into the standard city grid until later. Very cool.
Decades later.
Joanna, thanks so much for your time today giving us this mini tour of the main house. Now, full-size tours are available, is that correct?
Absolutely. We're open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and on Sundays 1 to 4. The tours are always free and you can just drop in those days.
And if you have a group of people that would like to tour all together, how do they do that?
You could give me a call at 623-930-4201 and I'd be happy to make that arrangement.
And if people want more information about the ranch, they can just go to where? GlendaleAZ.com?
Absolutely.
Parks and Recreation?
Look up Sahuaro Ranch Park.
Very good. Thanks again.
Thank you.
When we come back from the break, we'll be back outside talking about the history and the development of agriculture here at Sahuaro Ranch. Thank you.